course, you know, you look at some of our previous reversal points, our previous tops, our drawdowns. Our drawdown right now is close to number one, meaning that it's been over a year. The worst, or the longest drawdown we had was back in 2014, 2015, when Bitcoin went down for approximately 410 days. We're not quite there yet, but we're already longer than a drawdown from 2018 to 2019. So if you're looking at the top, going to the bottom, and then now reversing back up, we're right there. We're right there. We're days away. And who knows when that precise day is? Maybe it already happened. A lot of people are fearful that crypto is going to be damned for literally forever. If not years, maybe forever. But there's still people. Here's a new one, Bill Ackman. He doesn't have the best reputation. He's made some wrong calls in the past, but still, self-made billionaire. And someone like Bill Ackman has never been a big Bitcoin or crypto guy, okay? But even now, he has the foresight to see that, hey, before I didn't believe in it. I was initially a crypto skeptic, but I have come to believe that crypto can enable the formation of useful businesses and technology that before now could not be created. That's exactly right, right? So at least he has an open mind. And anyone that's an investor in tech can see this. This is why Tim Draper, also one of the most famous tech investors of all time, believes so much in Bitcoin and crypto and Web 3.0. And everyone else in this space too, like Mike Novogratz, also believes in it, right? Of course, we have other guys like Michael Saylor that only believes in the prospects of Bitcoin, but there are many that can see that, hey, crypto definitely has more use cases. And even though there's bad actors, right, the industry is still young, immature, and whenever there is a new emerging class or emerging technology, there's always hiccups along the way, right? And he also says some interesting things like the legitimate participants in the crypto ecosystem should therefore be highly incentivized to expose and eliminate fraudulent actors, as they greatly increase the risk of regulatory intervention and will set back the positive potential impact of crypto for generations. So basically, he's saying, hey, all of us in crypto, we should start looking out for each other rather than attack each other. Look out for each other and expose the fraudulent actors. I say that's a pretty good plan. That's a pretty good plan. What else? I saw this. I don't know if this is good or bad, but the reality is Binance is the largest exchange by volume by far in the world. Before, Coinbase had more Bitcoin than Binance, but recently Coinbase has been getting weaker. And now Binance now holds the large amount of Bitcoin among the exchanges. Not the largest entity that holds the largest amount of Bitcoin, but the largest exchange that holds the most Bitcoin reserves, close to 600,000. Now, Coinbase is still not far away, but you can see Coinbase back in 2020, you see how high they were, and since then, 2021, 2022, their reserves has just been dropping and dropping and dropping, while orange is Binance, and you can see Binance has just been going up. But recently, Binance really jumped up because of the whole FTX thing and scare, and people just trust CZ a lot more now. So people are willing to put their Bitcoin in Binance rather than any other exchange at this point. So CZ is the largest Bitcoin holder among exchanges now. And here's an interesting chart that shows you, this is really, really hard to kind of digest here. This is from Plan B, to showing age distribution of all Bitcoin out there. I think the best way to take a look at this is to note that every single year you have a large number of participants that come in, and over the years a large number of them go out, but a small percentage of them stay, and that's why the number of holders keep increasing. Okay, So the best way to look at it, if you go back to 2011, right, or in 2010, you see all the purples. It started out very hot, then it went down, and then in 2011, you see that light yellow, right? Then the teal, purple, orange, blue, and look at last year, 2021, you had a huge number come in. And same thing in 2020 and 2019. You can see the huge numbers in over the years how they kind of get smaller because a large amount leaves because they started losing money. But if you look at the very right side for 2022, right, we now have more than 66% of all Bitcoin held are from holders that are holding over one year. So that's an enormous amount. And even in 2022, we had a large number of new people come into the space. But if you look at all the holders from the past years, they're holding more than 66%. So Bitcoiners, they believe they're not going to go away. And this is the reason why Bitcoin always recovers and forms a new high. Because every single year and every single cycle, you have more people come in, and you have a good amount of that new people stay, become holders, and then the supply gets smaller. Demand increases while supply gets smaller over time. That is the reason why we keep forming higher lows and higher highs. So, good things. Good things. It seems like everyone's expecting SBF to, just sit there and wait for jail time. But no, it appears that he is not doing so. All his Twitter rants saying that he's going to do whatever it takes to make customers whole. Well, according to CNBC, a lot of VCs have been getting calls from SBF. Even though SBF is no longer part of FTX, he does not have access to his emails or company records or hold any official title at all. He is still calling out all the VCs around, asking them for that $8 billion that he's been looking for. So it's curious because even let's say he finds someone, does the new CEO even want that? Will the new CEO even entertain that? Right? We don't know. But SBF is still, calling away from his mansion. I mean, as he waits trial or jail time, but he's still calling away. So I guess you gotta give that to him that he's still trying. But anyways, according to this though, this is also encouraging. Based on our review, this is from the new CEO Ray. Based on our review over the past week, we are pleased to learn that many of the regulatory licensed subsidiaries of FTX within and outside the United States have solvent balance sheets, responsible management, and valuable franchises. So remember, under the FTX brand, there's like 100 plus companies, and some of them are actually solvent. So they actually had responsible people running those entities. So that's good. Not all is lost. I guess there were some that actually still had some people that knew what they were doing. But overall, there's still that $8 billion hole that does not seem like it's going to get filled anytime soon. But we do have a new suitor, though. Once FTX probably goes through its bankruptcy hearings, and then, they have to auction off their assets just like Voyager did and just like Celsius will do, right? You know what? Ripple. There's news now that Ripple may be interested in buying FTX assets. This is interesting because we think that there's only one suitor, Binance, right? It's been rumored that Binance is the only one that has enough money to buy anything. But you know what? If you think about it, Ripple has plenty of money too. But why would they want to buy FTX assets? That's the thing. Ripple right now, I believe, only holds XRP. Do they really want to hold Bitcoin and Ethereum and Cardano and everything else on their balance sheet? I don't know the thought process why they would want to. But this is not the first time we have heard this. Ripple was also contending for Voyager. So they may end up buying Voyager now. I mean, I think the only two that are bidding are Ripple and Binance. But it's just, I don't quite get it. Maybe some of you guys can explain, some of you guys from the XRP army, why Ripple themselves would want to buy these assets. Unless they just plan on buying it for pennies on dollar and just flipping it and, you know, dumping on the market to make a quick buck. But I don't know why they would want to hold anything else on their balance sheet at this point. But we will see. We will see. As for the contagion, you know, the big news over the weekend, and I covered this, Grayscale. Grayscale's parent company, DCG, may be in trouble because Genesis lending is down about $1 billion and they need a loan desperately. Where did $1 billion go? No one knows at this point. Did they lose it because they had exposure to Three Arrows or Luna? Possibly, because they're a lending company, right? So maybe Three Arrows Capital also, due to the Luna collapse, you know, they lost it. They couldn't get it back. Maybe they have some on FTX as well. We don't know yet, but a lot of people are asking for Grayscale and Genesis to show proof of reserves like the exchanges. And Grayscale is refusing to do that. They're saying it's a security concern and they're not going to show the proof of reserves. But they did say that all of their Bitcoin is stored with Coinbase because they utilize their custodian service, so it is safe. Now, people don't really like to hear that, but Coinbase all of a sudden came to the rescue and say, hey, you know, we did audit them. We audit them regularly, right? And rest assured, what they're saying is true. We do hold whatever that exact amount, 650,000 Bitcoins, right? But of course, people are like, should we just trust Coinbase's word? You know, because they're not actually showing the wallet addresses and stuff like that. But I mean, Grayscale does have a point. They don't want to showcase all the wallet addresses because then there could be potential for, I don't know, for hacks and stuff like that. They don't want to deal with that. But still, they could have done something more official rather than like depend on Coinbase to share it. You know, it's just that I don't know why they needed Coinbase to do that. They could have came out with something more official like this too, like exactly where everything is and the wallets they're in, but maybe not list out the complete wallet address, something like that, right? But they may end up still doing that. But unfortunately, Grayscale and Genesis Lending and DCG, there's a lot of scrutiny over them right now and possibly some fear. I mean, Grayscale Bitcoin Trust is now trading at 45% discount. So shows you this is the lowest, I should say the greatest percentage discount we have ever seen for GBDC. All right, so moving on. Well, that FTX, I don't know why they call it FTX Drainer now. The FTX, oh, I get it, because no one believes that it's actually a hack. That the FTX Drainer, one of the insiders, basically, you know, they stole like $600 million worth of crypto. Now, before they swapped everything to Ether, now they realize they can't get Ether out anywhere, so they're swapping for Bitcoin. So they're just swapping, but there's not much they could do with it. Everyone is tracking this address, right? Everyone's looking at what they're doing. Even their swaps can be tracked. So this is the good and bad about crypto. The bad is, yeah, we don't know who it is because they're anonymous. So, you know, that's kind of the point. But the good is we get to see it. Everything is on chain. So when we do have bad actors that's trying to cash out, let's say 600 million worth of crypto, it's virtually impossible. So that's the good, that's the bad. So where are they going to end up doing? I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's one of the four henchmen. Either Caroline or SBF or his counterparts in the Shad or Gary, one of these four, right? But yeah, where they go do? No one knows. All right. So outside of the contagion and this FTX nonsense, right?